I mean, I'm perfectly aware when the US Army invades a nation, they're pretty quick and decisive.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe peacekeeping isn't their biggest
Sure,
quality,
sure.
but I was just surprised when the invasion, when I heard it happen, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be quick and this is going to be bad for Ukraine, and they've kind of got their asses kicked.
Or because I think at the same time, it seems like, and again, we're in Plato's cave here with limited data, and a lot of the data out there is intentionally misinformation. You don't want to show your hand. That I don't think Putin sold it well to his military. And they are I have friends I have a friend, he's from Czech Republic, and his parents are involved in the international zoo community. And he was just telling me how they went to a zoo, I forget what city in Ukraine, and they killed 2 of the zoo employees, and they shot an orangutan and 2 chimps. So this is the sort of thing where it's just like, it's just senseless, that sort of violence. But it's very hard, in my view, to sell even that any kind of military on, we're just going to go out and kill people for no reason. That's not a good motivator.
But you'll understand it more than I do in Russia. There's obviously been a negative reaction from the people there. The great cancelling of Russia is super weird as well.
Yeah.
But can any of this become a threat to him?
To who?
To Putin.
Of course. I mean, someone could put do something to him personally. I'm sure he's not Stalin, right? So in every country, there are people behind the scenes. Look what happened to Theresa May. She was UK Prime Minister, and she was trying to get Brexit through, and she bungled the snap election. And there was the 1922 or 23, whatever it's called, committee, sat her down, right? Oh, it's all right, Theresa, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And they forced her to resign. It's very clear that if there was enough of a will in the cabinet, they could have 25th Amendment Trump. And any one of us can easily imagine Biden during the primaries. Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg got a phone call. They said, Biden's the candidate you're endorsing tomorrow. They said, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, to whoever it was. We can easily imagine Biden being forced out of office by powerful forces within the government or the Democratic Party. So obviously Putin is not entirely analogous to America or Britain, but to say that he's there with complete unilateral control, I think is nonsensical.
So do you think there's a chance there's a chance that Russia moves on from Putin?
I think I think that might be something that would allow, I would try to think of, okay, how does this end?
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Right. So it's not going to end with he conquers Ukraine and everyone's like, all right, you have Ukraine and you're going to have sanctions. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that NATO or the UN invades Russia and deposes Putin. That's also not an option. So a realistic possibility is, all right, they don't have to have any consequences, but he has to personally take the fall and step down. That is something I think we can imagine is, okay, this is some conclusion that I think people would be happy with and they can move on with their lives.
He can leave with part of his money.
Yeah. Like, we're not going to arrest you, but you're stepping down. You're going to be the fall guy. I made a mistake. They're going to put some other corrupt autocrat in power. The system's not going to change, but it's kind of like someone gets to be the fall guy.
And is there any part of Putin that's been good for Russia? I was watching a documentary. Do you know Adam Curtis?
No.
It's an Adam Curtis documentary. It was about money around the world, and it talked about after Yeltsin, they tried to implement a kind of more of a free market economy, and it really emboldened the oligarchs, but was devastating for most people. And when Putin came in, he brought more order, and he said people want to be able to feed their family and put their lights on. They care about that more than they care about freedom of speech.
For sure.
Is there some truth to that?
It's entirely true. I use this quote every day, it seems like, and the lockdowns demonstrate this. H.L. Mencken, who's a great curmudgeonly writer of the early 20th century, said, the average man does not want to be free, he simply wants to be safe. And you can see this all over the world, even in the West, especially in places like Canada, Australia, and even in the States, who supposedly, we have our gun culture, but people are certainly more than happy to bend over and take it from the government in the name of safety. So that's absolutely 100% the case.